Apophis here, back again with the third video in our series of blue Acolyte invasions. I've re-spec'd my build slightly by spicing down dark weapon to use 10 instead of 14, and then I also took some points out of strength. That freed up some more points for vigor, so now I'm sitting on about 2,000 health. So here's our first invasion, and we're buffing our katana immediately because that's where a lot of our damage comes from in this build. As you can see, if they have an elemental resistance set up, well, you'll still do pretty good damage. The 1.5 times multiplier on the katana will make it pretty much outdamage almost anything in a trade. I think one of the strong points about this weapon is just how versatile it is. It's got poking attacks. In one-handed stance, it's got a really good pivot R1.
Get ready for the next battle.
The two-handed stance has decent poise damage, but has reduced range. I think there's like a pseudo combo from rolling R1 into two-handed R1, but if your opponent's connection's too shaky, then you literally won't be able to land it. So I haven't seen my opponent yet, so I haven't really buffed my weapon, but I'm sure he's coming. I'm not sure if he just got a drop attack on me or what, but I was pretty surprised by that whole interaction, but I had enough time to buff anyway. But he is indeed fat rolling. So one real interesting thing is that if you put a bow in your offhand, you could actually use it without losing the buff in your main hand. So even though you basically two-hand the bow when you press L1, it won't remove the buff from your right-hand weapon. So bows are pretty good for this type of build. Kind of wish I had the stat points for composite bow because I think the base damage is quite a bit higher, but you know what? This one weighs the least, so maybe it turned out for the best anyway. Oh, and we're rocking 92 points.
Get ready for the next battle.
This is basically to resist a lot of like two-handed small weapons with one hit anyway. And also having the advantage of the crit gauntlets. He definitely should have gotten the backstab there, but you know what? Whatever, we'll take it. And yeah, so you see there? I'm pretty sure that that crit combined with counterattack on the one-handed R2 would have done over 1,200 damage in a single hit, which is pretty insane. Unfortunately, the 5% crit rate on the gauntlets is not exactly reliable, but you know, we take what we get. I feel like, you know, going up in poise only really matters if your opponents are using weapons you could poise through. I don't think any breakpoint's going to be able to let you poise a two-handed ultra greatsword or any large blunt weapon. So it felt a little pointless to stack poise in this session, if I'm being honest. Yeah, this was Pretty embarrassing game here. I think this should have been pretty winnable, but there's a moment here, I'll point it out, where I just didn't press the offensive when I definitely should have. I'm actually surprised at how little damage these guys are taking. Only taking about like 400 from a two-handed attack. But yeah, that was the moment where I should just chase down that one Phantom and just killed him when he was trying to cast Great Heal. Letting him get that off was definitely a mistake, but this part over here was also a mistake. See, yeah, that is probably one of the weaknesses of katanas. If you don't have the stone ring, people could definitely poise through your attacks, which is pretty bad for you, well, when you're up against like ultras like this. If I had just gone after him and killed him before he finished his heal, I think I would have been fine if I got hit by another player. Oh well. Can't win them all.
Get ready for the next battle.
I don't know if there's anything particularly interesting about this game, but I do try to make better use of the bow. It's not quite enough to finish him. And then I got a little impatient. I actually just held it in until he rolled. But it doesn't matter. Quick 2 one-handed strikes. You see, I think even rolling puts you in a counter-hit state, so you saw how much damage was coming out on those two-handed R1s. It was like almost as much as like the Bandit Axe one-handed R2, but you know, without the range issues. It's kind of interesting what counts as a counter hit and what doesn't count as a counter hit. I'm not like 100% on like what the window is, because I swear I've seen cases where the opponent's casting a spell and I use two-handed R1, and both hits seem to have the counter hit multiplier. And again, another guy pinned in the same room. Yeah, look at that damage. That was insane. The first counter hit, two-handed R1, did over 700 damage. Ah, and here I give a blue cop a job. Kinda wish he kept invading. He's got a very cool level 2 aura or whatever. Make some bad plays there, but clip him once. Yeah, I don't really understand what he was trying to do there, but the stairs did kind of mess up some of my attack hitboxes before that. But I was just playing a little uncautiously. But yeah, as you saw there, I was able to get the counter hit damage on both hits when he tried casting that spell.
Get ready for the next battle.
I don't want to say it was because he poised the first hit. I don't think that's what happened. Well, another caster in the full Hexer set. Using Sunset Staff, so I expect he's just going to be spamming Dark Orb, right? Very unfortunate. I'm not really sure what he thought was going to happen there. Yeah, that attack is pretty bad. I don't know, like the hitbox is always like a little messed up. Yeah. Another full caster wearing most of a Hexer set. It is a good set. I don't know, yeah, Soul Vortex sucks. I'm not even sure what the best actual useful spells are. I feel like the slow homing soul arrows are like pretty much as good as it's gonna get. So I pepper these guys with a little arrow action, and yeah, I didn't expect him to keep mashing after the second hit. He just kept on going. But 2 hits from this is almost enough to clean out both their life bars. Clean out Melania, and we finish off the Phantom. This poor bastard's just trying to finish the stage, huh? Wow, look at that. So we gotta ask ourselves, is he gonna keep on trying to cast? Oh, yep. Well, doesn't matter now. But you would think after the first 3 arrows, he wouldn't try it again. But, you know. I guess that's the only thing you built your build to do. And you're gonna do it. You know, it really did amaze me how many people I was invading in this area. It's like, what the hell? Like, they should be pretty high level at this point, right? Why are they still here? Oh my god. The most disrespectful shit. I meant to just turn and press R1, but I accidentally did guard break, slapped him in the face. Then he walked away and I killed him anyway. That was kind of beautiful. So, if you kind of notice, there's like been very little build variety on most of the people doing PvE. Either they're like spamming Rapier or they're using Ultra Greatsword. There's like 1 or 2 Twin Blade guys and that last Halberd guy. And this is like the first Katana user I've seen. Like, in the 3 sessions I've recorded so far. No, I take it back. He might be like the 2nd or the 3rd, but they're really, I don't know. I feel like people are not using weapons that are potentially quite good. For whatever reason. Oh, and I had equipped a parry shield to try to fish for some parries, but most people weren't even using a weapon that could parry. I guess I should have just done it on that Katana guy, but whatever. It might be more stylish to do the 2-handed parry anyway. Yeah, I couldn't decide if I wanted a buff or not. I'm pretty surprised he got that off. It looked like I was going to interrupt the animation, but it didn't work. And wow, even though he got hit during the Estus, it really, well, I mean, he pretty much got another full life bar. We're about to put a stop to that. Yeah, the katana's pretty hard to get away from if you're just trying to like play purely defensive. It's just got such a nice varied moveset. So, I guess now that we've wrapped up our invasions, I guess now it's time to talk about the advantages or disadvantages of this setup. So the short bow, or composite bow if I had a better build, would probably cover some of the weaknesses of the weapon, which is people kiting you, right? But it has really good chase down potential, the counter hit damage is insane, and the AR is okay. Some of the cons are that it could be easily resisted with 92 poise, it loses range in two-handed stance, and it's a lot more predictable two-handed, in my opinion. But overall, very strong weapon. I would recommend it for anyone getting into PvP. Easy to use, very powerful, versatile moveset. Doesn't even need an offhand, so I give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think there are some stronger weapons that can be used in basically every situation, no drawback compared to this one, but it is definitely one of the strongest types. This is specifically about the Uchi Katana. The Chaos Blade and Black Steel Blade have some other interesting quirks, but I'll probably do a different video on that at some point. I suppose a quick addendum would be which rings are most compatible with this weapon type. And for that, I would say that you probably want to use a stone ring, a Leo ring, or a Ring of Giants +2. So the logic behind the stone ring is that you want to break their poise. So in the event that you get it, like let's say a two-handed R1 on someone, you want to absolutely make sure you break their poise because there's a lot of end lag on that attack. Pretty much be committing to 2 R1s at that point. For Leo Ring, that's pretty obvious. The weapon has a lot of good thrusting attacks. The one-handed R2, the running R1, and the two-handed running R1 are all thrusting type. And you get the huge 1.5 times multiplier, then you get the Leo Ring bonus. So you're going to be doing a ton of damage. Last option is the Ring of Giants +2. This will ostensibly let you hit 110 to 120 poise. And at that point, you should be able to tank through anything that's not a very large size weapon. So that should about wrap up the weapon summary. So thank you for your patience. Anyway, if you like this sort of content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.